Every grandmother carries a lifetime inside her. The triumphs nobody witnessed, the heartbreaks she outlasted, the wisdom she never got to pass on until now. Welcome to Grands Speak. Each week, Rhonda and Cherri sit down with another grandmother to dig into her life, the love, the lessons, the laughter, and everything in between, because the best stories come from the women who've truly lived them. This is Grands Speak. Welcome in. The conversation starts now.
Hello, I'm Rhonda,
I'm Cherri,
also Sweet Mama,
also Grandma.
and we're here with our fifth?
No,
Fifth?
fifth.
Oh, fifth. I think
Yeah.
she's right. Oh my gosh, okay, cool. And 5 was I said, if I can get it by 5,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And my grandson was home for the weekend.
yeah. Did you get anything done? Or?
I got some stuff done.
Okay.
I got some stuff done, and so I feel a little more confident.
Good.
I'm not guaranteeing.
It's not easy.
It's so not easy. Oh my
It's
God.
not easy learning new things at our age, but it's not easy learning new things when they're technical things.
Right. And I think, so he came home, we had been on the phone, right, remember?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get
Yeah.
my iPad to talk to my external hard drive.
And I just unplugged everything. I remember that.
Unplugged everything, plugged it back in, and it was like, ta-da, there it is. And I'm like, that was so annoying. Because I had unplugged it from the thing. But I didn't unplug all its little pieces and parts and put them all back to, I was like, that's just a little, they're high maintenance is what they are.
They are.
Yeah. Anyway, they're like little princesses that we have to take care of.
Oh.
And stroke just perfectly.
Yeah.
But anyway, it worked, and I have some hope that it'll work again.
Yes.
Is why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again. If it worked once, it will definitely work again.
Yeah, and I told you that I identified somebody that I thought we could interview that might have some interesting,
very exciting
stories from a grandmother to share with us about her life.
Lots of grandmothers out there.
There's so many grandmothers, so if you think you've got stories to tell, you could reach out to us.
Yeah.
We might put you on our podcast, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Because we have stories, but it's good to hear a variety.
It is, absolutely.
We all have so many experiences.
I have a story from this weekend. It was really
let's hear this weekend.
Probably just to me, but I've been scrapbooking for a number of years, and I used to scrapbook every week. I'd go to what they were called crops, and you'd be at somebody's house or in a church basement or somewhere. And when I first began scrapbooking in 1996, I was a little overwhelmed. You're learning something new, and there's so many pictures. And when you've lived even just that long, I wasn't nearly as old in 96 as I am now, but there were a lot of pictures. And fortunately, the Creative Memories consultant that I worked with, one summer, because she had kids at home, and we all had kids at home, so during the summer she'd do a special program in her house, and we'd come and crop once or twice a week. She had a pool, so we'd have fun. Cropping is cutting the pictures, that's where the crop comes from, and decorating the pages and putting the pictures on and making books.
So it's actually making the books.
Making the books.
It's the scrapbooking.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
And so she did an organizational lesson for the whole 6 weeks. It was a big task. And so when I went home and got my pictures, and when I came back the next day, I had 2 of the big plastic tubs.
Oh, good God.
Full of photos.
Okay.
And I said to her, Doris, I don't think I can get this done in my whole lifetime. And she said, well, one step at a time, just a little step. Well, she did such a great job with us. By the time I finished those 6 weeks, I had that pared down, because a lot of them were duplicates. You throw things away, or
they're not any good.
Yeah,
because back then we had to develop them without seeing them.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Right, or you took two pictures just in case one didn't come out, so you've got one picture straight on and another picture, person's moved this far, so, but once I waded through, I had two, what were called power sort, because you took all this power and you sorted all these photos. Power sort,
Okay,
and they were 12 by 12 and about 4 inches deep, because photos are usually like 3.5. It only must have been 5 inches because the photos are 4 at the most.
okay,
And so these, I had them stuffed full, 2 sets of them.
okay,
But at least it felt doable from the
Right.
plastic containers.
sure.
So this weekend, what I did, after 30 years, I finished my 2 Parasort boxes full of photos.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
So you did do it in your lifetime.
I did do it in my
It's a
lifetime.
good thing you've lived so long.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason to feel happy.
Accomplished.
Yes, accomplished. Yes, absolutely. So
Wow.
that
So
was,
that's
yeah, I'm
so
still
that's a
kind of
little
in shock.
daunting for someone like me. It's like, whoa. What if I don't live that long?
Yeah. Well, I said that for a number of years
All right.
too. It was like, what
So
am I?
you
And I knew
finished
the
it.
kids would just toss those babies. Now, if they toss those books, they are in big trouble.
Okay, that was this weekend.
That was this weekend.
But
Yep,
you have
yep.
some stories from traveling overseas, I think.
Yes.
You were going to tell us about.
Back in, it would have been 73.
The past millennium.
Yeah. Well, we had moved from Hawaii. I've told you some of my Hawaii stories. We'd moved from Hawaii to New Hampshire,
Yes.
where my husband was from.
Yes.
It was like, do we go to California and have our family and raise our kids, or do we go to New Hampshire? Well, in California, I had just my mom and a few cousins that I didn't care about seeing all the time.
Do
It's
they
like
know?
once every 10 or 15
They
years
know
is
now.
enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're all dead now.
They're all dead. Oh, okay. They,
So,
they knew anyway.
yeah, but he had a mom and dad and a brother and aunts and uncles and
So he had a very
whole
big family.
yeah, people who were, liked him.
And we talked about your mom. So I
Yes,
bet your
yeah.
mom was not happy with that decision.
I'm sure she wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm sure she wasn't,
Yeah.
but I did it. And so we came out here, and Ken right away got a job as a counselor at a
Mhm.
junior high, and we were living in Londonderry. He got a job at a junior high
Mhm.
in Nashua, so that
Mhm.
was convenient.
Sure.
And I got a job. Well, actually, I started out just substitute teaching.
Okay.
That was my first. And so we bought a little condo.
Mhm.
So we had our first little house, and we wanted to start a family.
How much did that cost? That house? That one?
$20,900.
Oh my God.
Yep, 2 bedrooms, bath and a half, unfinished basement. It was a beautiful end unit. It was a beautiful little. I know every time I think about what they go for now,
Oh.
it just
My God.
is,
It's
kids-
$500,000.
Yeah, exactly. Things
Okay.
are not going well, but it's you know what? It's a prime example of the fact that there's money for well-to-do people. There's not money and the availability to buy houses and things for the people
For
who are
the
not
middle
well-to-do,
class,
who are
right.
just working stiffs.
Yeah.
Teachers, firemen,
2 teachers.
nurses,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But we were really blessed and got our little place set up and had our jobs, and he also was going to the university. He was working on his certificate of advanced graduate studies in counseling,
Okay.
and he'd gotten a full tuition ride to UNH. That was what brought us back. It was
Okay.
like, okay, honey, I got this deal, so
Yeah, this
He
is a
was-
sign.
yeah.
Let's do
That's
this.
another thing that I'm not sure is available to kids anymore.
Sure, sure.
So, since we weren't pregnant, we decided, well, I sort of decided, because after my substitute year, one of the principals really liked my work with the kids and so hired me as a 5th grade teacher in Auburn. Auburn was part
Yeah.
of the school district. It was Auburn, Derry, Londonderry.
Okay.
And so while I was teaching, I heard about, so this would be the 72, 73 school year.
Okay.
I heard about the union was working up a charter to fly to Europe for teachers to go to Europe and then come back, a 6-week kind of thing during the summer. So they would just take you over, drop you off in one country, and then pick you up in another. Happened to be Spain, Madrid, that dropped you off and picked you up in Amsterdam.
And it was
So-
for what?
Just
Professional enrichment or just?
for whatever they wanted.
Oh, so
You know,
nothing
you
in
could,
like
yeah, you could
whatever
take,
you wanted.
yeah, you could take a tour group with you if you wanted, of
Okay.
other teachers or something, or
Okay.
parents or whatever.
All right.
Not kids, just because of the insurance situation, but it was really a wonderful opportunity,
Yeah.
and it was only $500 a piece.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
So
round trip.
which was a lot of money then.
Yeah,
But
it was doable.
But doable.
It was doable, yeah, so the two of
for
us saved
6
up
weeks.
for 6 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
But you were totally on your own.
Okay.
And now this is, the reason I want to be sure people understand it's the 70s is because there was no computers,
No.
there was no even, you had tour guides, you could
Sure.
hire somebody to put a tour together for you. You could, you wouldn't have to hire them. AAA had some good programs. But
Okay.
again, it would be a set program and a set amount of time, and
Sure.
I wanted to have flexibility. So what I did was went to my local bookstore and bought 2 paperback. One was Fodor, Fodor, was a
Yeah,
company
yep,
that puts
yep.
out a travel book.
Yep.
And there's another one company that puts out a book the same, and they had Europe, I think Europe, Greece, and maybe the Middle East all in one book. So they were thick books. And so what I did was I just went to the pages of the countries we wanted to go to. We talked about which ones we really wanted to see.
And this is you and Ken.
Yeah, Ken and I. And this was him and I. This was, and those days, really, as a couple, I mean, it's still pretty much just him and I, but, we were a good team. And so I went and took out the pages for the areas we wanted to go to, and I had read them and read them and read them, and marked them up, and I put like each country in an envelope,
Right.
5x7 manila envelope,
Okay.
so that as we went, and I marked like where we would arrive at, like a train station, okay, what were the closest places we could get housing to the train station, because we were on our own in terms of, we didn't want to drive, we didn't want to do any driving. And so we managed to we landed in Madrid. We didn't spend a lot of time there. I wish we'd taken at least an extra day, but we did have time to see and I can't remember the name of it, the museum, the major museum in Madrid, which is just
Well, I hope you're not
beautiful.
quizzing me.
I can't remember. I went there.
Uh-oh.
And we also, I don't know, I read too much Hemingway. I got it in my head, we ought to see a bullfight.
Oh.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah, that's
We
not for
left
the
about
faint of
halfway
heart.
through,
No.
shaking our heads and saying, why did we do that? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But it was certainly Spain. What could I say?
Yeah.
Everybody there was having a good time except
They
us,
seemed
I
okay
think.
with it. Huh?
Yeah, they were perfectly happy. So we were in Madrid for a few days, and then we took the train and went to Switzerland. We stayed 1 day or 2 days in Switzerland, and then we went to Italy. Oh, it was going to be Rome, Florence, and Venice.
Okay.
So we were going to take like a week and a half, 10 days really,
Sure.
for the 3.
Yeah.
So the thing is, in those days, first of all, Europe wasn't really American tourist conscious
No.
yet.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
weren't, tourists weren't going over there a lot.
People couldn't afford it.
Right, and they didn't speak English.
Right.
And in the 20 or 30 years between when we got back, years later, when we were retired, they had made sure everybody in the tourist industry spoke English.
Yep.
And some other things had changed.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide, smoking was no longer, because they had laws then against smoking now, but they didn't when we were there.
Right.
And they smoked these nasty cigarettes.
Oh, I can't even
they
imagine.
stunk. And everybody smoked.
Right.
I swear to God, you'd stand at a street corner waiting for a light to change, and people would smoke a whole cigarette just standing there. And the cars used this nasty gas, and they had to rev the engines to keep the car going.
Oh.
So you had the car fumes.
Oh my.
It was. And
so every place was stinky.
Every place was stinky.
Okay.
And men would spit on the ground.
Okay.
I think it was a sign of manliness.
Okay.
So I'm spending, it's like, hopefully I don't run into anybody because I'm trying
Right.
to walk around.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, and it was just.
So isn't
and
that,
was,
that's all
it was
interesting.
worse in Spain and in Italy.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad in France, and then once we got into the British Isles, it wasn't a problem at all. But so we did the whole Rome thing, saw as much as we could. Of course, in those days, the Colosseum wasn't open. As a matter of fact, it was full of cats. And the most pictures I have of the Colosseum are pictures of little kitties, little feral cats, and sitting in little nooks and meowing.
So why was the Colosseum not
begging.
open? You're not
The
sure.
country didn't have the wherewithal, because they were still coming out of World War II.
Yes.
So, and Italy was not a high priority. America did pay for lots of reconstruction in Italy.
Okay.
But it was last on the list to get done.
Okay.
The things in France were way ahead of what was in second place. And so, and millions of dollars. People don't realize a lot of museums that are there now wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for our country. But anyway, so we spent 3 or 4 days in Rome and saw as much as we could. I did buy, we took some local tours. Not that we could understand what the tour guide would say. But
so they were in their native language?
No, they were speaking English.
Oh, they were speaking
but
English.
But it was so heavily accented that you picked up a few words, but not, not a lot.
Right, okay.
And then we went to Florence and saw all the tourist things and just loved it. But at that point, we'd had 7 days. The last 3 days we were supposed to be in Venice. And I said to Ken, I don't think I can make Venice. If I see another Italian spit in the street,
no.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Oh, no.
I said, let's go to Greece instead.
Okay.
But I didn't have the Greece book.
Oh, so now you're going
Greece
blind.
Okay, now I'm going blind. So we asked the people, that was in France. We asked a few people and managed to find somebody who could explain to us how to get to Greece. So we bought ourselves tickets to go on a boat over to Greece. And I remember we get to the boat terminal in the port.
Yeah.
And we think we're doing the right thing. They've got conveyor belts that go up into the ship to take your luggage.
Okay.
So now we each were traveling with, I took 2 pantsuits and 2 dresses.
Oh, wow.
And I was wearing one of those 4 outfits every day. And washing them out every night.
Yeah.
And you had to have what you could carry.
Sure.
So, and there were no roller bags. It was what you could literally carry. And I had a pocketbook big enough to hold all of our other stuff. And so we put our suitcases on the conveyor and up it goes. And we're waiting in line to get on the boat. We start talking to some people. we find out this boat that we just put our luggage on is going to Egypt.
Oh, dang it.
So now we have to somehow communicate to the guy running the conveyor belt,
Right.
off, get him off. Oh my God. So Ken goes, I'll take care of that. You go get in the line to get us on the boat. Good idea, I think. But I'm standing over there in the line watching him talking. Finally, I see the conveyor belt stop before our suitcases get all the way to the top.
Right.
And down it goes.
Oh, wow.
He comes running with our suitcases. That was one of the fun stories.
Yeah, there you go.
Greece, the whole Greece trip was a fun story. So we get on the boat, and it was just the best little boat. It had a swimming pool,
Okay.
and I had taken a swimsuit. Who would have thought?
Okay.
Can't carry much, but by God, I've got
my
swim
bathing suit.
And by that time, my pregnancy was showing. Timothy was born in October, and we took off June 28th.
Okay.
I came back 6 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
No, it must have taken off a little earlier because we came back like on August 8th, which was the day before Nixon resigned.
Okay. Oh, so there was a hot mess going on over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and my poor in-laws, I can't imagine. Here's their first grandchild, and their son and his wacky wife.
His wacky wife.
Yeah. Are off
cavorting around
to Europe. Yeah.
Which now it doesn't seem like a thing.
No.
But then it was a thing for sure.
A big thing. Yeah.
A big thing. Only people with a lot of money did it, and then they could
Yeah.
pay people to do stuff.
Absolutely. So,
You were pregnant. Okay.
yeah, and so we get on the boat, and I said, and of course it's so hot. We're going across, I think that's the Aegean
That's right,
Sea.
because it was hot.
Okay, very hot. And I said, I'm going to use that swimming pool. And he said, okay. So I get in my swimsuit, and I get in the water. And there were a lot of people, but there were enough so that I could float along.
Okay.
And just, it was so soothing. And all of a sudden, and in the boat, it was a small enough boat that you did do a little swaying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in a vessel in a body of water.
Yeah.
And in a body of water in the vessel. And I'm a vessel with a body of water. And my baby
is in
and
the water
she was
in the vessel.
She was walking around, hitting the sides as it was just
that's
cool.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun. So
That
then,
sounds like a painting.
yeah.
I could see someone painting.
Fortunately, it wasn't an overnight trip, so we didn't have to get into our nightwear. So I dried off, got back in my clothes, and we get to whatever port it was. I used to remember all these things, and just about 10 years ago, I still remembered them. Anyway, wherever Brindisi was the town in Italy that we left from. I don't remember the Greek town we arrived at.
What was it? The main land of Greece?
Yeah, we were on the mainland of Greece,
Okay.
but we were on the coast, and Athens was on the other side of the country. So it's almost like Florida if you arrived on the Gulf side and where you wanted to go was on the ocean side.
So y'all went to Athens?
Yes,
I see.
we did go to Athens. But first we had dinner, and I was really excited to have Greek food in Greece.
Sure.
The only thing we could find in the little, because it was mostly takeout because people were tourists and they would just come and grab their meal, eat at a picnic table, and was broiled chicken and with French fries and a salad, which was just lettuce and with a vinegar and oil dressing and a few little vegetables.
So interesting.
It was like, well, crap, I could eat this at home, even now. But it was good chicken, very good. It was cooked well. It was, I couldn't complain. It was delicious. But anyway, so then we get on this bus to go over, and it's going to get us into Athens. We're leaving probably at 7 o'clock at night, and it's going to get us into Athens about 10 or 11. We don't have a place to stay.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So we get on this bus and we're riding along. I'm trying to listen to all the different languages because we are all tourists. So there are, lots of languages around us, and I'm not hearing any other English. And we get halfway over this mountain range, and the bus driver pulls the bus over to the side, and he announces that we have motor trouble. We have motor trouble. And, but not to worry, that he's notified the bus company and they're sending a bus to rescue us, to take us to the rest of the way to Athens.
Okay.
And it will only be $50 more.
Oh.
Okay. It's
a scam.
piracy. It's a
Yes.
scam. You got it. And I just burst out laughing. I said, again, we're just, we're just caught in a scam. You realize that, right? He goes, yeah.
We just have to
He
go
said,
along.
if we get he said, if we get out of this for only $50, I'll be happy.
Right.
And the other thing is, we had saved $3,000 for the trip, and we each had $1,000 cash with us. And what we would do every time we'd get into a city, we'd go in to one of the banks and buy so much money.
Yeah.
And we made sure that as we went through the country, that we were each kind of keeping on the amounts we had on hand equal. So that if one of us got robbed or lost our money for some reason, at least we had the other one's
Somebody had money.
Yeah. But that had to cover like our we did have some plane reservations and tickets that had been paid for and a couple of things for Ireland, but that was all. I mean, the cash on hand that we had had to pay for our housing and our food and our transportation. So, which today you couldn't even do that on probably 10,000, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, sure enough, an empty bus just happens along, and here we are, and we pay our $50 and get on the bus and arrive happily in Athens.
Right.
No worse for wear.
Right.
Which was very fortunate, because when we left 2 days later, we were the last boat out of there before the country shut down because they had a revolution. But we didn't know that till we got home, and my mother-in-law had saved the newspapers.
Oh, bless her heart.
I know, but they didn't know we were going to Greece.
Oh,
they thought we were still in Italy.
Oh, they had no idea. You could have been in Egypt, for God's sake.
Right, yeah, really, yeah. That was a place I had no interest in going in those days.
Yeah.
So we found when we got up there, we asked around and said, how can we find a place to stay just for a couple of nights? We only have a couple of nights here. And somebody pointed us to a place, and we went down, and sure enough, we were able to get a room. And so we saw, and in those days, you could not only walk up to the Acropolis, you could walk on that sucker. And I remember thinking at the time, should I do this? This doesn't seem like I should be walking on something this old. Just my internal take care of our old things kind of thing. But that's what everybody did. So, and I'll never forget Ken.
I want to do a commercial break.
Okay.
Take care of our old things.
Yeah. You got that right.
Okay, carry on.
So, when we tried to pick up little things that we could bring home as mementos, but there were a lot of older people who obviously made things and were selling them. It was probably the way they were able to afford food and clothing and
absolutely, yeah.
And we saw this little old lady with these beautiful hand knit shawls. She had them over her shoulder, and it was so hot. It's like, oh my God, she must be boiling in here. She's standing out in the sun. She's got these shawls. And so Ken asks her how much, and she tells him in their money, and he shakes his head. Oh, too much. And he starts to walk away, and I'm thinking, this poor little old lady, can't you give her? He goes, no, that's too much, he says to me. And I'm thinking, that's peanuts to us, But he had to get her down just by like 20 cents or something. He just had
to have his bargain.
He had to haggle. I'm like, you have to haggle in Greece? we have reservations, and oh, can't you haggle in England when we get there?
Let's haggle in England.
Yes,
They
let's.
probably don't haggle in
Yeah.
England, but there you go.
Yeah.
He had
So
to have that
he
experience.
had to have that experience, so he did. And I got a pretty little white shawl that I still have, and I think I've only worn 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
But it's just special because it came from that little lady
Sure.
in Greece. So the day we got on the bus and traipsed back, and I remember saying to him, man, I hope we make it the whole way.
Right.
We did, and back to Brindisi we went, and then we caught a train and went to France,
Okay.
to Paris.
Oh, nice.
Now, this was a bit of a glitch in my research.
Okay.
I pulled us into Paris Bastille Day weekend.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Yeah. Listen, 2 million or 3 million Frenchmen from the outskirts visiting Paris, yes. So there was no hope we couldn't get into the Louvre. I mean, literally, we couldn't get in. We were able to go to Versailles
Okay.
and see Versailles. But the most fun part was that we couldn't find a hotel even near the train station.
Right.
So finally, a taxi stopped and asked us, did we want to ride? And we said, well, we're looking for a
place
house
to
that we
stay,
can
yeah.
stay. And then he said, Bastille Day weekend? And that's
Stupid
what I
Americans.
knew. That's what I knew. It was like, oh, you're right. Now,
yeah.
Ken should have known because he was a French major in college.
This is on Ken.
Yeah,
for sure. 100%.
yeah, absolutely. That and the white shawl. But so the guy says, I think I know a place. So he takes us to this place, just about 2 or 3 miles down the road.
Right.
And he says 2 older gentlemen run this place. And it was so cute because we go in and they really were older. I mean, like 80 and over. And they ran it with their cat. As
Their cat?
with their cat. The cat would sit on they had a switchboard.
Okay.
And so the cat would sit on the top of the switchboard. And when it rang, they couldn't hear it. Because they usually would be in the kitchen doing something or up cleaning.
Right.
And the cat would go get them. And so they know.
So the cat did help run.
Cat helped run.
Oh.
So as
wow.
soon as we got there and walked in, the cat was sitting on top of the switchboard and got down and went in the kitchen.
Said, you
And I
have
said
a
to Ken, I
guess.
said, we're in trouble. Even the cat doesn't want to talk to us. And the cat comes back with the guy following him. And Ken says, no, he just went to tell his owner that we're here.
Yeah, that's
And
so
it was
cute.
so cute because they didn't speak any English.
Right.
But Ken pulled out his college French, such as it was,
Yes.
and they managed to communicate with each other. So we stayed at their place for, I think we had like 3 nights there, just the length of the holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the same time everybody else was there.
Exactly. Nothing was crowded. But we had a good time anyway. So, and then we flew from there.
Mm-hmm.
We flew to London and then changed planes and flew to Ireland.
Okay.
And
So you were in London and then you were in
Yeah.
Ireland.
we didn't stay in London overnight.
Okay.
I figured it was close enough we could get back there at some time.
Mm-hmm.
And in those days, they ran flights. Well, even now, I think you can go back and forth to London.
Pretty easily.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, relatively
Easily.
speaking. So I had seen warnings in the little books that I had that if you went to Ireland, then a lot of people from the continent went to Ireland to vacation because it was cooler in the summer. So you should definitely have reservations.
okie doke.
So that's what we did. We, again, didn't get a car, but we did. Oh, yes, we did. Yes, that's the only place we rented a car.
In
that
Ireland.
was in Ireland.
And
yes.
which side do they drive on?
The wrong side.
The wrong
Yes.
side. I love how we say the wrong
I
side.
know.
We drive on the right
Right.
side, so clearly it's right. And they drive on the left, so that's clearly
The
wrong.
wrong side. It's not the right.
It's not the right.
No, absolutely. So that was lovely because that took a little pressure off in terms of finding a place, you know.
Yeah.
And
How long were you in Ireland?
we took a full week in Ireland, and we really saw the whole.
Wow.
Except in those days, you couldn't go to Northern Ireland.
Oh,
You
okay.
could only do the Republic.
Okay.
And so that was one of our most memorable, really.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a week there, and then we flew to Scotland. We flew into Glasgow, and it was pouring in Glasgow, so we didn't see much of Glasgow. We were only there 2 days, and then we took a bus to Edinburgh. And it wasn't raining in Edinburgh, so at least we were able to go see the castle and a few things. And from there, we took a boat to Norway,
Oh.
Bergen, Norway, and bussed around Norway. Well, we were in Oslo. We spent time in Oslo, and then took a bus to Sweden. We went from Norway to Sweden, so we were in Stockholm for a couple of days, and then we took a bus to Denmark. And Denmark was it's so interesting because those three countries are alike, but not much. They're very different from each other.
Okay.
And Denmark was very, by our standards. Now, of course, when we were in Amsterdam, yes, we did go to the red light district, and in those days, they didn't care who went anywhere.
Okay.
The drug houses were pretty much like a bar. It was just like a bar. So if you wanted to buy some drugs, you just went and got them.
Okay.
And nobody thought anything
Nobody
about
cared.
it, and nobody cared about your using.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Which was very different from here. So,
right.
You know,
Did it work better?
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't there long enough to figure it out.
Right.
I'd have to study it. But
is it like that now?
I don't believe so. I
Okay.
don't believe so. As a matter of fact, the last time we were in Amsterdam, they asked that tourists please stay out of the red light district because those women were working, and it wasn't right to, which I thought was so nice.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, don't come here
and gawk.
Nobody's coming sitting at your office gawking at you.
Exactly. That was the attitude and the way they put it to you. And I thought, well, that makes a whole lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense, but it is unexpected.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Denmark. Denmark was the kind of place that they had a number of movie theaters, and men after work, instead of going to a bar and having a drink, would go to a movie theater and watch dirty movies, pornographic movies. Now, I had my allergies, like I still do, and so I spent a lot of time finding local pharmacies where I could buy packages of tissues.
Right.
And when I first went into a pharmacy in Denmark, made a big impression on me because instead of, I stood in line waiting to get up to the cash register, I found the tissues and I'm ready to pay, and I've got time to kind of look at what's in the counters down at the bottom where you just grab something. And,
right.
We got all those candy bars, and in the old days we had, a lot of times there were cigarettes in our stores,
yep.
right? You can grab your cigarettes or grab your candy bar. There they were all porno films and child porno.
Really?
Yeah, I just stood there with my mouth open. I'm like, don't be obvious, Cherri. Just keep it cool. I didn't know whether to cry or be mad.
So child pornography
was apparently
legal?
accepted. I don't know. I didn't do any discovery afterwards, and I hadn't seen anything.
Where are we? Where are we now?
We're in Denmark.
Denmark.
In Denmark, yeah.
Isn't that different?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very different
Yeah.
now.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
it was,
Wow.
but that was a real eye-opener for
Yeah.
me. So we did, I have to confess, we did go to one of those theaters just to see what the movie was about.
All right.
And I have to say, it was very, very inferior to our porn.
It wasn't good porn.
Not,
It was crappy porn.
not well done porn.
Not well
done.
Very
porn.
poorly
No,
done porn.
Yeah. No story, no costumes, you know.
They
There's a
didn't
lot
even
of
pretend
grunting.
to be interested in one another in any
Exactly,
way.
yeah. That was about the extent of it. It was just really, like, we walked out going, oh man, that was bad. That was, yeah.
Have I got a product for you?
Yeah, really. Oh man, it was,
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
the things you learn when
Yeah.
you travel.
Yeah.
And so then from Denmark, we flew, I think that's all of our countries. So then, did we fly? No, we took a boat. We took a boat to Amsterdam.
Mhm.
And we spent I think we spent 4 full days in Amsterdam.
Okay.
We went to Anne Frank's house.
Mhm.
We walked through the red light district. There are a couple of fabulous art museums.
Mhm.
Rick Museum or something like that. That has all that wonderful art.
In the art museum?
It's unbelievable. It wasn't a bit of porn.
No porn.
But the art was much
But
better.
the art
than-
was so much better than the pornography.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
Much higher
Yeah.
quality.
So when we got home, we discovered, like I said, my poor in-laws, because I had given them an itinerary and where we were going to be where. So the only deviation ended up being when they thought we were in Venice, we were actually in Greece.
Right.
So my mother-in-law saved all the Union Leader front pages from the different times that she knew we were going to be there. There was a train that we had taken from Italy to Paris. The one that came the day after us was bombed.
What?
Yeah, it was bombed. That's when the IRA was really, really going to town, and they were bombing things.
Your
in-
mother-in-law should have killed you.
really, really. And
I'd
she
have been
did.
so mad at
She
you.
said we were a little worried. My father-in-law gave us what for, especially Ken. But it was.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I know. One of my
How
favorite.
old were y'all? Were you in your 20s or 30s?
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
20s.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the 20s
Yeah.
are for. Unsupervised stupidity.
Yeah. Yeah, Tiffany was born my 25th birthday, I think. Yeah. She was born, no, not quite.
Her birthday is
77.
your birthday?
75, yeah. 45 to 75. Oh,
That's
that's 30.
30 years.
Oh, I guess I was 33. Well, she was born before my 33rd birthday, so I was still 32. I was in my 30s.
But you were in your 30s.
When I took that trip,
There's no 30s stupidity.
I'm just,
You're
I
either
think that's-
ahead of your time or behind or something.
I think it's part of it is one of the advantages of my ADD is I don't ruminate and think about all the things that could
Right.
go wrong.
Right.
I prepare for the way I want things to go,
Right.
and so most of the time they do.
Yeah. Well, not everybody got bombed on a train.
That's right.
Most people didn't.
Right.
Most of them did
Yeah.
not.
So and then there were bombings in a couple of other places, IRA bombings.
But I just think about those in-laws. I think
know.
about those parents.
I know.
going,
We can
"Oh,
really identify
my-
with them.
Oh my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yep.
Because it wasn't even just the two of you.
No, it was a baby.
Yeah.
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 And I must have really started to show because when we got to Italy, I found we took a lot of local buses from place to place, and total strangers, men and women, would come up and pat my belly and say, "Oh, Bambino," they jabber on in the town, and I go, yeah. It's like,
Yeah, Bambino.
as a matter of fact, that was another reason I wanted to get the hell out of Italy. I loved Italy, but keep your hands off my belly, please.
That's
that
just
was
what
so-
they did.
yeah,
That's culturally what they did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was all
done
blessings.
with love. Yeah, all
Blessings
blessings.
of love.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
They were just, and everybody that we met, that we dealt with, was just as kind and nice as they could be.
Which is
I mean,
wonderful.
which I was kind of surprised at,
Right, because you
because
hear
in those
stories.
days, they, talked about the ugly American and, the tourists that
Right,
came
but I
over.
think
Those were the
sometimes,
rich people
because
who
have you
went.
ever been someplace and the Americans are being like
Oh, yeah.
jerks?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're like, not me, it's
Yeah.
not me,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just this last weekend at the scrap.
We came full circle.
I know. See, that's the way I am. Just wrapping it up, folks.
Wrapping it up perfectly. What happened?
Well, we have about 5-foot tables that one person sits on one side, one on the other side, and then people have all this. They've got their crickets, they've got their computers, they've got all their scrapping stuff. I mean, they've got enough paper they could paper the whole country.
Right.
They just, and then they've got all their photos, and so then you've got all these people with duplicates of these things, because God
Sure,
forbid we
yeah.
should share.
Yeah.
But most tables were saying, we're here to relax, we're not going to talk about politics, we're just
Okay.
going to
All right.
put the war and everything out the door,
Right.
and we're going to enjoy ourselves and
Yep.
have a good time. Well, I guess there was one table, I wasn't close to them, but there's one girl who has a laugh that could kill anything and hurt it. It just is so raucous, and she's such a happy person.
Oh,
She
so
laughs
she
all
laughs
the
a lot.
time.
Okay.
Yes, but they got into talking politics, and she was 2 tables over from us. I couldn't hear her, but the girls at the table next to them could.
Okay.
And finally, one of them went and said, "Please, if you're going to talk politics, do it quietly, because the rest of us are here to enjoy ourselves and get away from the
Right.
negativity."
Right.
And yep, the ugly Americans were over there at table 3.
Oh, okay.
I was
Okay.
at table 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
So
very
that's
fun.
that's our Europe trip. A little different than most people's Europe trip, but it
Yeah.
was
Although
great
at that
memories.
time,
Yeah,
not that
was
different.
right.
Because
Exactly.
people often would not have a plan. They
Just,
couldn't figure
oh
everything
yes,
out
yeah,
ahead of
backpack
time.
on their back and off they went.
Off they went.
Yes,
Especially younger people.
Yeah.
Older
Absolutely,
people not as
yeah.
much, but
Yeah.
definitely the young. I had a great, I have a great friend from middle school and high school, and she had the wanderlust, and
Yes.
she did all that stuff, and
Yeah.
just brave,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
I didn't have that kind of courage. Alone.
Yeah.
Like off
Yes.
she went,
Yep.
and she I always thought she was amazing.
Yeah.
And back then it was a different story than now.
Oh, absolutely.
Now everybody really does speak English.
Yes.
A lot of
The
people
people,
speak
yes,
English,
yeah.
even the ones that don't. There's someone standing right there. What are you trying to get? You know,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
what is it you need?
Exactly.
We were.
Another thing I found, I'd forgotten about this, that triggered the memory. You could not stand on a street corner with the map in your hand, that 2 or 3 people wouldn't come up and say,
Oh,
"What are
okay.
you looking for? Where can I,
Can
and
I help you?"
oftentimes,
Yeah.
if they were in a hurry, they would show you where to go and go off. But just as often, if they weren't in a hurry, they'd say, "I'll take you, let me take you."
Which is
And they-
incredible.
I know, it just,
I
they
know.
would take the time
And
out
if
of
you
their
can't
day.
picture somebody here doing that.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that was, for me, the little bit of traveling that I've done has just been such a joy to meet so
Yes,
many
yeah.
amazing and wonderful people
Yeah.
that are really a lot like us.
Yeah.
At least in terms of values.
Yes, yeah.
And what they want to do with their lives, which is love the people they love and take care of them,
Exactly.
and contribute what they
Yeah.
can. So it's really lovely.
It is. When Ken and I were taking our riverboat cruises, and we really found people were just so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times, especially in French and Italian villages, that we'd go wandering off, just looking at the buildings, and there'd be little grandmas sitting out among the stoops, chit-chatting with each other, and they would welcome you in their language. They didn't speak English, and you'd say, you talk about how beautiful everything is, and
Mm-hmm.
they might have 2 or 3 words of English,
Right.
but they'd be so happy and kind, and
Welcoming.
if they had just baked something, you'd get some of it. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very,
Yep.
very awesome.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad it's been so many years since I told
I know,
that story,
that's
so,
fun.
yeah.
To relive
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
And to think how things have changed. Oh,
Yes.
it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah,
In our
it is.
lifetime.
It is.
And it's not all bad. Like, all the stuff that we can do now because of the internet
Yeah.
in a way we couldn't before
Yes, yeah,
is just remarkable.
right.
I just wish things would be used for good and
Yeah,
not used by others for
yeah,
personal
right,
gain.
right.
But
That's
each person's choice. That's that free will thing, keeps mucking
Yeah.
everything up.
oh, yeah, that leads us right into trouble.
It does lead us right into trouble. But
It's usually other people's free will that
I know.
leads me into trouble. I don't know.
I know.
I'm just walking along this
Mine
way
has
and
gotten
they
me in
just.
plenty of trouble
I
as well.
bet.
Let me
Yes,
just
yeah,
be honest
that's
here.
true.
My own free will has
Yeah.
been a bit of a problem
Yes.
on occasion, for
Yeah.
sure. But anyway.
Yeah, my husband will tell you mine is.
Oh, well, till the next time, my darling.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good. I'm looking forward to, I hope we get a chance to meet with that lady. And,
Yeah, I hope so too. We'll
yeah,
see.
I'm sure she has some
And if
wonderful
not her,
stories.
maybe we'll
Somebody
we'll
else,
find
yeah.
somebody. There's lots of grannies out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, with lots of amazing stories
Yeah, there
and
are.
experiences.
there are.
Which I'm excited.
Yeah,
Even at my age, boy,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to learn.
really.
All right, darling. Let me turn us off.